The Jay Slater situation just got even more insane. Over the past 72 hours, of course, the search from the Tenerife police has been called off, which means that the Tenerife police are no longer searching for the missing teenager who went missing around 3 to 4 weeks ago. But that does not mean that the family have given up. They have instead stated that they will be continuing to search for the missing teen, and it has been revealed that obviously there was the whole GoFundMe, which was raised in order to help pay people to come out to Tenerife to search for the missing teenager. But there has been a bit of backlash recently off the back of this, as the family has hit back at a TikTok star who has quit the search after he said that he never received any money from the GoFundMe. So a GoFundMe has been set up to search for Jay Slater and has raised almost £50,000. But a TikToker who flew to Tenerife and the help for the search said he never received a penny. So this is the TikTok star that allegedly pulled out, and this was his message. So Jay's mum said that the £50,000 donated funds will help support the search. But he told Sky News that he never received any of the money whatsoever before going out. So that's what has been going on recently. But the family have hit back at this. So Jay Slater's family has hit back at the TikToker who quit the search for the missing teenager, saying, "We don't need hikers, we need experts." Callum Fahim, who flew to Tenerife after contacting the 19-year-old's mother online, told Sky News that he has withdrawn after 2 weeks of looking and receiving, quote, death threats. He said he and his group have not seen a penny of the money raised to help find Mr. Slater and plans to return to the UK on Thursday. Speaking with Sky News, Mr. Slater's family said that his mother, Debbie Duncan, gave Mr. Fahim £740 of her own money for accommodation, but he turned, quote, bitter after they refused to give him more money. Now, if this is me, all right, and obviously I'm just going to chime in with my 50 pence here, I would go out there searching, not for a paycheck, but I would go out there, to help. There is a teenager missing. Regardless of his past and background or whatever happened or however people want to paint it, there is a man missing, all right? And you go out there, you don't go out there for a paycheck, you should be going out there to help support, not to try and make a quick buck. They said that they wanted to save the funds to pay for specialist searches and rescue teams, likely to cost thousands of pounds, but need to wait for permission from the authorities. "We have every single person who's come out," they said. "He's a hiker. We don't need hikers, we need experts." Mr. Slater was last heard from on the 17th of June after setting off on a walk back to his accommodation, a journey of around 11 hours. Police called off the hunt on the 30th of June after 12 days, but Ms. Duncan said that she and her family will remain on the Spanish island to continue their search. In a statement on a GoFundMe page set up help fund the search for her son, which has raised almost £50,000, Miss Duncan thanked Spanish authorities and supporters. She said part of the funds will be used to support volunteers hunting for Mr. Slater and in the mountain. But Mr. Fahim has told Sky News that he has not received any of the money. Now, this is a bit of a double-edged sword because, of course, the GoFundMe has been a controversial topic from the get-go, really. People questioning why the GoFundMe was necessary, why they needed such a high goal. I think the goal initially was £25,000 and it's since obviously doubled to £50,000. The family have backed it and said, no, we need these funds to support the volunteers who are coming out. And now obviously it's been brought into repute once again because of this TikToker. But moving forwards, there has been a lot of news over the past couple of days regarding this whole thing, and the Daily Mail have had quite a few exclusives. So the first one revealed British man 31 who Jay Slater visited in an Airbnb before vanishing is a convicted drug dealer, and he insists missing teen came to the house alive and he left the house alive. Now, this is one of the two people that Jay Slater allegedly went to visit at the Airbnb. And until now, they had anonymity, but it has since come to pass. But The Briton at the centre of the Jay Slater mystery broke his silence today and told the Mail Online that he came to my Airbnb alive and he left my Airbnb alive. Ayub Qasim invited Jay, 19, back to his rented holiday cottage after a rave in Tenerife hours before he vanished on June 17th. Qasim, 31, was jailed 9 years ago for being a mastermind behind a sophisticated operation to flood Wales with Class A drugs. He booked the £40 a night holiday rental online under the name Ayub Abdul, which obviously is very suspicious in and of itself. But what's even crazier about this is they booked it an hour before going there, which to me strikes, interesting. Spanish police hunting for Jay have already spoken to Qasim and the unnamed friend that he was travelling with, known only as Johnny Vegas. Alright, and this is Qasim here. And obviously this is Jay Slater. This was the £40 a night Airbnb that they went to. The men stayed on the island for an extra day after Jay went missing to speak to the police, although both have been described as irrelevant to the investigation. Speaking exclusively to the Mail Online today, Qasim said, "The only comment I have to make is that Jay came to the house alive and he has left the house alive. I let the geezer stay at mine because he had nowhere else to go. His friends had all left him. I know Jay through friends. I'm not going to bring someone back to mine if I don't know them. I'm doing the geezer a favour now and my face is all over the news. It's a bit mental. I haven't even done anything." Now Qasim is back at his family flat in Barking, East London. In 2015, he was the ringleader of a London-based crime gang who imported heroin and crack cocaine to Cardiff. When police raided the property there, they found drugs, cash, mobile phones and digital scales. Qasim was sentenced to 9 years and 9 months. Qasim insisted that he had no argument with Jay and he had even given him a blanket to sleep in. So that's what we know about this geezer so far. But there has been a follow-up article made that what actually happened is that Jay Slater admitted to friends that he stole a £12,000 Rolex and was trying to sell it hours before he vanished. Investigator reveals dramatic new revelation in the missing teenager probe. So this obviously came around the same time that he met Qasim. It's not known whether it was Qasim's watch that he nicked and was trying to flog on, so I can't say that for certain, but Jay Slater actually admitted to his friends that he stole a £12,000 watch and was trying to sell it just before he vanished, a former detective has claimed. Now, these are only claims, there is no proof to back this so far. Mark Williams-Thomas, who is probing the 19-year-old apprentice bricklayer's disappearance from the remote mountainous area of Tenerife, posted an update on X on Wednesday morning. The investigator, who also probed Nicola Bully's disappearance, claimed that Jay's friends revealed the missing raver had sent them a Snapchat in the early hours of June 17th admitting that he had stolen a luxury timepiece. Mr. Williams-Thomas said that Jay was headed to seat Leon hire car to the rented Casa Abuela Tina Airbnb near the village of Masca with two older British men just after 6 a.m. when he made this shocking Rolex claim. Now, of course, this does go hand in hand with the Qasim story right here. Although the former police detective has not been able to verify that the alleged theft took place, he said friends of Jay have assured him that the missing teenager would not have made it up. Mr. Williams-Thomas said that he was making new information public to provide some clarity to clear up the total inaccuracies fueled by conspiracy theories. And this was the post that was made over on X.
It is now into the 16th day since 19-year-old Jay Slater vanished in Tenerife. In that time, his disappearance has attracted worldwide media attention and as such, extensive coverage on social media. This has led to massive speculation, with theories at times very misleading and with inaccurate information. Overwhelmingly, people are fascinated and as such want to do their bit to help, whether that be doing their own detective work or just providing comment. What people often lose sight of or don't consider, and I'm sure a number don't even care, is that Jay's family and close friends read a lot of what's posted online and in the media. And some of it has been very unfair and unkind to a family who right now are in total shock and despair. So please just think before you post, and if you would not say it to your loved one who's missing, then don't say it or post it now. As is a way with this high-profile missing persons investigations, the public and the media want official information, and when this is void, they fill it themselves. I flew out to Tenerife on Monday the 24th, directly to help the family, using my team to help Jay's family get some clarity and answers. My trip and investigation has been fully funded by myself. And many of you will have seen my statement I made on Wednesday afternoon, setting out the parameters and the focus of my investigation. I'm now back in the UK and have been in contact with Jay's family throughout and kept them updated constantly with the result of my ongoing investigation, making inquiries both in the UK and back in Tenerife. Jay's family were provided with my preliminary findings on Friday the 28th of June. I've spoken to lots of witnesses and have a clear picture now of what happened overnight of Sunday the 16th of June through to the morning of Monday the 17th of June. I'm now in a position to release some of that detail. I'm doing so given the massive interest in this case, mainly to provide some clarity and to clear up the total inaccuracies and misreporting of information which is neither helpful to the police, my investigation, nor, crucially, to the family.
I think this is important. I think it's really important that we have people like this posting relevant and true information, because otherwise it does become a sea and a minefield of misinformation and people making things up to fill voids or mishearing things, and it becomes a bit like whispers where, you know, things go round and it just doesn't, it wasn't what the original source actually said.
We know that shortly before 6 a.m. on Monday the 17th of June, Jay left the area of Veronica Strip, Las Americas, in a Seat Leon hire car with two males casually known to him. Jay and a number of his friends had spent time with them both over the previous 2 days. All three males, including Jay, then travelled north via the main motorway, the TF1, to go to the two males' holiday rental Casa Abu Latina in Masca, which was about an hour's drive away. En route, Jay posted a Snapchat saying that he'd taken a £12,000 Rolex from a person. We have been unable to validate this in terms of a reported theft. However, friends of Jay said he would not make this up, and the watch was subject of later conversation between the friends.
Now, what's important to state here is obviously on the topic of misinformation and people not actually knowing for a fact, but posting it is speculation, is that the watch actually belonged to Kasim, and that was why they took him off, because, you know, they caught him stealing a Rolex off them. But again, that is just speculation that's been floating around the internet. That is not confirmed information, and I cannot say that that is absolutely the case.
Not long after arriving at the rental, Jay around 7 a.m. had contact with various friends via social media, both inside and outside the rental. And during these calls, various videos, chats were had and pictures sent, including the one he took on the doorstep that many of you will have seen. I am confident that that photograph on the doorstep is him, wearing a throw, a blanket from the apartment, and his black and green Air Max trainers, which he had on the night that he went out. We know at around 8 a.m. there was a level of communication with the host of the rental property, in which he communicated by hand digits to him that the bus was leaving at 10 a.m. from the bus stop right by the apartment. With this, Jay walked off, turning left and up the hill. We know that Jay used an Apple iPhone, and the Apple Maps takes you that route up the hill, walking back to Los Cristianos, where he was staying. Whilst on the walk, he talked to and messaged his friends. Whilst walking, Jay spoke to at least 3 people, telling them that he was lost, with little phone battery and without water. He was told to go back by 2 people to the rental. He said he could not do that, and that he'd already been walking 30 minutes, and that he was now off-road and was walking on a track where there were loose stones. We know that at 8:49 and at 8:50, Jay sent his location via both Snapchat and WhatsApp.
Now, this is very interesting, because what has been brought into question about the Snapchat maps here is this photo here about this saying Jay and obviously it being his location. Apparently, I don't really use Snapchat, and I haven't for a very long time, but people who have used Snapchat have told me that this would have come from someone else's phone. This photo would not have been sent from his phone, because your Snapchat snap maps would say my location, not your name. If that makes sense? So this would have come from apparently someone else's phone.
Via both Snapchat and WhatsApp to 2 friends. We can confirm that it was Jay using his phone at that stage, and there was no indication that he was with anyone. The location is fixed by GPS, and we've done tests in the area, and it's accurate to 5 to 10 meters. The fixed point is the Barranco Joan Lopez hiking path, which fits the description given by the witnesses that spoke to him, stating that he was on a stony path and having walked 30 minutes from the rental apartment. From this point, no further contact is had with Jay because his phone battery dies. We've received information that would suggest that Jay left the rental property feeling scared, and he would not return to the rental, even though that would have been the most sensible course of action, and also where he could have charged his phone, got some water, and made contact with friends. We continue to investigate this aspect. We have, however, ruled out hostage kidnapping situation because no credible ransom demand has been made, and we've no evidence at this stage to say there was a third-party criminal involvement in Jay's disappearance. However, there are still a number of outstanding actions, and therefore we still remain open-minded to the possibility of this changing. The evidence is...
That's obviously in reference to the Rolex getting stolen, which would possibly incite some kind of third-party action.
That Jay walked off from the rental, walked for about 30 minutes, and then sent his location at 08:49 and 08:50, and we know that he was at that stage off the road on a track with loose stones, and we have that fixed as a location on GPS. I now want to make an appeal for landowners in the area of Tino Rural Park to check any outbuildings and land that they have, in the hope that further searches will continue by volunteers in the area not yet searched. I've largely remained silent to date with our investigation, not giving any interviews, but have felt the need to make a statement now to clear up facts, which I've advised the family I would be doing. This has been done as I hope it will enable people to accept the evidential facts and thus reduce the number of mis- and inaccurate reports and information that are being publicised and circulated. You will appreciate that as part of our investigation we have spoken to a significant number of witnesses both here in the UK and in Tenerife, including Jay's friends who are fully engaged with us, and as such we've received a significant amount of both personal and sensitive information. We've even spoken to significant individuals in the drugs fraternity in Tenerife. Much of that information is highly sensitive, and so therefore we will not be releasing it. We continue our investigation to try and find out what happened to Jay, and if you have any information, please either contact the police in Tenerife or you can contact us anonymously through the many forms of social media or through our hotline. Thank you.
There you go. So there is... Oh, this is the hotline stuff. So if anyone does have any information watching this video, you can go to that. But it was a fantastic little breakdown, and it's good to hear from a credible source about credible information. But kind of going on from that to TikTok. Obviously, TikTok is the home of conspiracies and all the rest of it. But we are going to be taking a little look at a video because I want to show a bit of a balanced video about some insider thoughts.
Would you look at us conspiracy theorists? Correct all along. Jay Slater did steal a £12,000 Rolex just hours before he vanished in Tenerife. And the first image of one of the 2 men that he went back to the Airbnb with has now been released. So around 5:30, 6 a.m. in the morning, Jay Slater was sending Snapchats boasting about him stealing a £12,000 Rolex on Snapchat to his friends. But it looks like he got served up some instant karma just a few hours later, not been seen or heard of since. Bearing this information that has recently come to light, it is now time, I'm sure you agree, to get this GoFundMe shut down. 50k, you're taking the piss for someone that was at minimum a thief. And yes, my comment was removed from GoFundMe, but I requested a refund for my £5. I gave my reasons. I gave him details about this case, how it's been misled, lied to, and it needs to be shut down. They've escalated my claim to the support team, who are going to be in touch with me in 48 hours for more information. I'll keep you up to date for facts.
So I found this video and I found it odd. Because obviously, you know, this person's very disgruntled. They've clearly paid into the GoFundMe and now they are feeling like they've been hard done by. But what do you guys think of this whole situation with Jay Slater? Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. While you're down there, be sure to, well, jump scare the hell out of that like button if you have gone on to enjoy this video. Subscribe if you're new. Tickle my little bell so you get notified whenever we upload to the channel. And I will try my best to keep you up to date. And until next time, I'll speak to you later. Peace.